Blame Truth here, and man, has there been some news since I last talked to you guys. Uh, the last video, I thought that would be like the highlight for the month, the big piece of news for the month. But we have something even crazier. It's so strange to me. People are like, man, BT, how do you constantly make videos on Activision and Call of Duty? It's because this is literally the scummiest company and the scummiest franchise in video gaming history. I don't think it's even remotely close. In fact, just recently, Charlie Intel announced that Discord, its new CEO, would be an ex-Activision vice president. And I have never seen the internet like so collectively behind the fact that this is a terrible, terrible decision. In fact, it's such a terrible decision that even TeamSpeak ended up getting in on the fun. They have a really funny social media guy that runs their account. But basically, they were just memeing. I even posted something about it, and he got a lot of likes and stuff like that. TeamSpeak responded. But wait, it gets even better. I mean, it's really rare to see the internet collectively come together, but this was a moment. This was a moment in time where it actually happened. Look at this. Discord even announced it on their official Twitter, and one of the top upvoted replies is his past is at Activision, which means that Discord is about to paywall literally every letter, comma, and thought on the platform. Probably won't even let you log in without paying some sort of activation fee. On top of this, by the way, on top of this, we have to, like, not even joking, we have to think about how they have implemented Activision Blizzard, have implemented in Call of Duty an AI chatbot thing that constantly moderates everything, invades your privacy, and will ban you for saying, like, I'm going to change the tranny in my Toyota truck. That was one of the funniest ones where someone got banned. Yeah, if you're from the South, you know what that means. If you're not from the South, well, it sounds kind of weird. But regardless, Discord used to be a safe haven for this stuff. This invasive, stupid, like, Call of Duty chat moderator. And now it's probably going to be baked into Discord as well. So, wishing the best to TeamSpeak. This is your moment. If there ever was a moment to shine, here it is, my friends. So anyway, that's not all I want to cover, though. Before I get into the real meat and potatoes of this video, I got to show you guys this because I could not believe it. Treyarch blocked me for this. All 36 players left are going to love this. Thank you, Treyarch. I said that in response to them pushing out like a patch the other day. They literally blocked me for this tweet. Maybe it was because the tweet nearly ratioed them. I don't know. But I think I struck a nerve with the player counts. They cannot be too happy, especially about the Black Ops 6 side of things. I know Warzone Verdansk brought some players back. Not a whole lot, if I'm being honest. It didn't really move the needle, and I'm basing this off of how the player counts dipped when Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 nearly ended things years ago. They're really nowhere like near where they should be, at least on Steam charts. Now, what's funny about this is clearly they're kind of sweating about it, because why would they block me over this? I responded with some other things too, like kind of trolling them, every now and then or whatever. I'm not like overtly mean. I'm not insulting anyone or whatever. I'm just making little funny quips like this. If they block me over this one, I think it's like not a stretch to say that the player counts really aren't good. Like, if you need any more evidence, the fact that this tweet got me blocked, nothing else I've said, nothing else I've posted. I've posted Sleeping Shack, I've posted like boring, stuff like that. But this is the one where they're like, no, man, like we got to deny reality even more and block this guy. So there you go. It is what it is. But let's actually take a look at this player count, by the way, and let's compare this to the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which just got released. One of the weird things that a lot of Call of Duty fanboys do is that when it's not the weekend, like Steam numbers don't count or something, like player counts are lower and they shouldn't be taken seriously because it's not The weekend. So I checked in, and this is yesterday's. I'm not sure what today's is, but I checked in yesterday on Steam charts for Call of Duty, and we're getting to the point where it's like the Verdansk update didn't even really happen. We're dipping to that point. I'm actually going to take you guys back to about 2 years ago and show you something that just doesn't make any sense. A lot of people are saying that this is great for Verdansk. Players are back. But I mean, look at those numbers I just showed you. They're really not impressive, but people are praising the game now or whatever. But let me show you something from 2 years ago. Guys, this is utterly eye-opening, okay? So 2 years ago, when the player counts were here, everyone was worried. 24-hour peak of like 120,000. Ghost of Hope and JGod both were saying like, wow, the player numbers have really fallen off. This is not good. Insider Gaming reported on it as well. Charlie Intel, I mean, everybody was talking about how they lost way more players than anticipated and the game was on the decline and it was dying. All of a sudden, 2 years later, this Verdansk update comes out, right? And it's not anywhere close to these numbers where they were initially worried, and yet people are saying it's this massive success. It simply does not make sense. This article just posted 2 weeks ago says Warzone player count is off the charts as Verdansk exceeds expectations. I'm sorry, this does not make any sense. I'm not grifting here. I'm not pointing out negativity. I'm simply trying to make sense of why, like 2 years ago, 120,000 concurrent players is seen as this terrible thing. And now in 2025, and by the way, like sales are up for Black Ops 6 on Steam year over year, like 60% or whatever. Steam's grown since 2 years ago. It's bigger than ever before. More and more people are coming to PC gaming while console gaming is relatively stagnant. We've covered this with cited sources, by the way. But it just doesn't make sense. We have half the player count as then, and it's seen as this big success. Like, I think they're just talking out their ass. I think they're blowing smoke up our ass because what are they gonna say? Oh, yeah, it didn't really move the needle like we thought it would. I mean, we have no verified data internally, about things. And this isn't a problem with the weekend. This isn't a problem with people not playing on Steam or whatever. I don't think that's true. We did the math with leaks of the player count. It was like 15 to 20% of players are on Steam. It's a good chunk of the player base. It just seems like Call of Duty has no staying power. It's like they have like a week or two in them, and then the nostalgia bait just loses all of its luster and people are bored again. And then they put the game on the shelf and then they wait until the next nostalgia bait, either with the next season or the next military Madden Call of Duty Shoot a Man 25 title for $70 comes out. And it's like it's rinse and repeat. There's no staying power. There's no actual soul or gristle. There's no meat and potatoes, if I could use that again, to the gameplay. It's all hollow slop. And it can't actually just maintain people based on the core gameplay alone. It always has to have some gimmick or nostalgia tied to it, or rehash, or look, we're bringing back this map for the 18th time. It's always something like that. Like they simply can't do anything new. They're out of ideas. But that's not entirely fair because I actually played Call of Duty Mobile over the past week, by the way, which is a lead into today's sponsor, but Call of Duty Mobile was pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie. So I have to give them credit there. Apparently that's not made by anyone in the main Activision dev teams though. I think it's Tencent, I want to say. But let's get into today's sponsor. If you are interested in Call of Duty Mobile, then check out this amazing phone from Red Magic. Today's video is sponsored by Red Magic and their new gaming phone, the XR Air. I have been playing with this thing all week, and let me tell you guys, it has been a busy week, and as I get older, it just seems like I get busier and busier, and being able to game on the go no matter where I'm at is a lifesaver for keeping my stress levels down. Whether I'm in an Uber, on a plane, or just waiting at the dentist office, having something I can just whip out and game on is phenomenal. Now, here's what makes the XR Air so special. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, only 7.85 millimeters thick, 120 hertz refresh rate screen, AMOLED, by the way, 6,000 mAh battery, and the Ice X cooling system to make sure you do not overheat no matter what you are doing. But don't let all this gaming performance fool you, because this is a premium Android phone as well. I tested out the 50 megapixel cameras today, and as a videographer and photographer on the side, yes, I wear many hats on this YouTube channel, I found the performance and the results out of the box, no editing, no tweaks, just amazing. Pro camera mode, macro photo mode, you name it. I mean, this thing does it all. So guys, if you want to get into mobile gaming or want to take your mobile gaming experience to the next level, or you just want a sweet, snazzy new Android phone, pick up the Red Magic 10 Air today. Visit the link in the video description or the pinned comment and get yours. It's brand new. It's awesome. Tested it all week, and this is going to be my go-to for Call of Duty Mobile because, well, the mainline Call of Duty games just aren't it anymore. So if you feel the same way, pick it up. All right, guys, welcome back to the video. Something I didn't mention in the ad, by the way, the shoulder buttons. The phone actually has shoulder buttons, which was pretty amazing for COD Mobile. COD Mobile's pretty great, though. I don't know why we can't get something like that on console, but regardless, pick up the Red Magic 10 Air. It's an amazing gaming phone. And play some COD Mobile if you're really missing that kind of classic Call of Duty feel. But anyway, let's compare some player counts here, okay? And I'm just showing you this as a comparison. Don't take it any deeper than that. It's funny to me. Let's really break this down, all right? So this is the Oblivion remake, a single-player game that costs money. It's just one game. It's 20 years old, and yes, the remake does look phenomenal, but this had, like, no marketing. There was a little bit of hype based on some leaks and stuff, like, the week of. This has, like, no marketing. It's a 20-year-old game. There's nothing about it modern other than the visuals, and I think they also redid the animations, but the rest of the stuff is just a 20-year-old game. It well surpassed Verdansk, which, by the way, is free to play, and bundled into that stupid Call of Duty metric are 3 other awful games. Actually, no, you know what? Nah, Modern Warfare 3 is pretty good now. But the rest of them are trash. There are all those games, all those modes of free-to-play Battle Royale. It can't be one single paid game from 20 years ago with no marketing. You cannot look at this objective data and tell me that things are going great for Call of Duty, especially when they block me for something as petty as me making a joke about the player counts. If you need any more, like, ammunition, you know, to throw their way about their player counts are in the gutter, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm trying to look at everything logically here. I'm showing you hard data. It feels like I'm the only person doing that now. And keep in mind, guys, this is a weekday. Oh no, they released it on a weekday. People are at work. Yeah, funny fucking joke. Call of Duty players aren't employed, and if they are, they work at McDonald's and live in this, like, slave mentality of spend their entire paycheck on some new cringy weed bundle so that their 3 friends still left playing who have the combined IQ of my current home thermostat setting will be like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. This shit sucks. And, like, modern gaming sucks. This isn't even a Call of Duty problem. People will line up just to play a 20-year-old good game with some updated physics and visuals. That's it. And I'm right there with them. I never really played a lot of Oblivion. I was more of a Skyrim guy. Oblivion was always really glitchy for me. I think I got glitched out of like 3 different playthroughs when I tried to play it back in the day, so I gave up. But I'm going to go back and play this. Or I'm going to go forward and play this, I guess, and let you guys know what I think. But, like, seriously, it just goes to show, modern gaming fucking sucks. It's almost like these games released 20 years ago are actually that good. I would argue that around 15 to 20 years ago, we actually peaked with gaming. I truly think we peaked with gaming. Anyway, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. I actually just cut a portion where I just ramble about like games released in 2007. The quality of games released just in 1 year's time. It was like Gears of War, Halo 3, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, BioShock, all first-person shooters, by the way, all incredible. We just don't get good shooters anymore. It seems like the only way to play like a good Call of Duty is to play Sledgehammer's games after like a year wait, or play Call of Duty Mobile or whatever. Those are your only two options pretty much. But I can't even say to like play those without some caution, because what I'm going to get into here throws both of those games under the bus a bit. Yeah. And you need to really be careful about any sort of microtransaction. In fact, I would say don't bother with any microtransaction as it pertains to Activision Blizzard whatsoever. Play the game for free. If you can't get the game for free, in the case of like Call of Duty Mobile, and you're playing Modern Warfare 3 or whatever, and you paid like $20 for it, just end it there. Budget yourself. Don't buy microtransactions from this scumbag fucking company. What I'm going to show you, what they have done is insanely illegal. And it would not surprise me to see some people at Activision Blizzard going to jail for this. And I'm not kidding, okay? So here's the thing, man. We covered Modern Warfare 3 after Black Ops 6 came out and it was like bleeding players. We covered with Modern Warfare 3 that anyone that would just play Modern Warfare 3 would get shadow banned. Didn't matter. Didn't matter what you did. Didn't matter, like, just playing the game would get you shadow banned, but only on Modern Warfare 3. It was the weirdest thing. It's like they were trying to funnel you into Black Ops 6 or Warzone or whatever. Very, very odd. I mean, we embarrassed Activision back in the day when Call of Duty Ghosts came out, and then everyone just stayed on Black Ops 2. And Black Ops 2, after like a few weeks, had a higher player count from Call of Duty Ghosts. After that, Activision decided they would hide the player counts for the rest of eternity. Literally, that's what caused them to hide it. And that's why we have to just go off Steam charts now, because Steam charts make them. But anyway, I digress. Modern Warfare 3, and I say this with no exaggeration, I think it's the best Call of Duty game released in the last 5 years, 6 years, bar none. The best Call of Duty game since Black Ops 4, easily. I don't think it's even close. I think Sledgehammer are the only dev team that somewhat know what they're doing. While I criticize them for Vanguard, and rightfully so, apparently Vanguard was made in like 8 months or something. I'm not even kidding with that, guys. A terrifying statistic, I know. But like when Sledgehammer actually has a little bit of time, they can pump out something pretty damn good. They're the only studio that can anymore, it seems like. With that said, I got this comment on my last video and I had to cover it. And what I found is something horribly illegal, and I went down the rabbit hole even more, and again, I'm pretty sure someone's going to jail. Let's start this saga here, okay? Reg1990 left this comment on my last video. He says, "Hey BT, I wanted to alert you to yet another scummy thing Activision did recently that's gone under the radar because it happened back on Modern Warfare 3. 2 weeks ago, the contents of the 2 Call of Duty endowment bundles were pulled out of a bunch of people's accounts, including the Warrior Operator and the Get Wrecked Execution, and nobody knows why. There have been multiple threads on the MW3 subreddit about it. I went back and forth with Activision support for those 2 weeks, showing multiple examples of proof that I owned the content, and they essentially told me, because these bundles were bought from the Xbox store, we can't give you a refund, so contact the platform holder for a refund. And when I told them I wanted my content back and not a refund, they stopped responding and closed my support case. People who bought these bundles were basically robbed, and who knows when they could take away other bundles from other people. Hopefully, someone like you or Nero can bring more attention to this. Needless to say, I uninstalled MW3 and the whole COD HQ, and I'm done with this franchise for good." Anyone in the comments section currently listening to this video, give this man a round of applause for quitting this horrid addiction. Now, I need to delve into this, but from what I just gathered reading this, I actually went to the subreddit and looked at multiple threads about this. From what I gather, something in this pack was probably copyright struck. Remember when they took away Valderis Museum, I think it was, from Modern Warfare 2 because they just ripped off a location, a real location, like a real museum, and put it into the game because they're lazy, talentless hacks? Yeah. That got taken out, and then they like paid the copyright holders what they were owed for this location, and then the map came back as like a content drop. They took it away, paid the rights because they tried to steal it. Like, they're so fucking scummy. How can I, like, how many examples can I show you guys of them literally lying, stealing? I mean, I feel like I'm covering Los Guerreros back in the day. Is that the new Activision theme? We lie, we cheat, we steal. Mamacita. I'm not going to do the whole song because then I'm stealing a copyrighted song for the video, but you get what I'm saying? Like, rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. Love that man. Regardless though, man, regardless, how many times can I show you guys them lying and cheating and stealing? Like, before you realize, don't trust anything they do. Don't give them money. I mean, if you get the game, at the very least, wait until after it comes out. Get it on sale. Play a free trial, whatever. I mean, if you have Xbox Game Pass already, play it on Game Pass. But, like, stop giving these people your full price admission. Like, they do not care. Everything they do, super scumbag behavior. And here's the shitty thing about this. This is an endowment pack, okay? Like, this is something for charity, for veterans. The fact that this stuff got pulled, I mean, as far as I can tell, everyone lost access to this. This should be something pretty simple. I'm no game dev, I'm no programmer, but should this be like a simple thing where they could just like unlock it? I mean, as it stands right now, I think you can still buy this in the store, but like, you can't use it, from what I understand on Reddit. Like, so, I just... It must be some copyright issue, like they stole someone's animation or stole like a graphic or something. And then this content gets locked. I'm not sure. Maybe they're just super incompetent. Maybe they're just gigantic assholes. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, if you paid for this bundle, you literally had your content stolen from you. You paid for it. You have it in your account. It is taken back. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it, basically. But there is an oasis in a desert about this stuff. I mean, as consumers right now, we can't do anything about it. However, anything Activision does or has done will land them in trouble, a lot of trouble, if the laws change. And I think the laws, well, they are a-changin', viewer. They are a-changin'. What am I talking about? Well, this video popped up from Bellular News, who does a lot of anti-consumer news as it pertains to gaming on his channel. Cites all of his sources, very well researched. He covered just recently about how a lot of these AAA companies, specifically Activision, Blizzard, EA, and the like, are in a lot of trouble. The Digital Fairness Act is being implemented in EU. Let me just read this real quick. It's a little bit of legalese, but let's do it. Yeah. In the mission letter addressed to Commissioner-designate for Democracy, Justice, and the Rule of Law, President von der Leyen refers to the need to develop a Digital Fairness Act to tackle unethical techniques and commercial practices related to dark patterns, marketing by social media influencers, sorry for all those people that get paid off, the addictive design of digital products, and online profiling, especially when consumer vulnerabilities are exploited for commercial purposes. Let's really delve into this here and show exactly what they're talking about. Dark patterns in online interfaces that can unfairly influence their decisions, for example, by putting unnecessary pressure on consumers through false urgency claims. Addictive design. Oh, this is starting to sound like the loot box thing, or EOMM of digital services that pushes consumers to keep using the service or spending more money, such as gambling-like features in video games. Personalized targeting that takes advantage of consumers' vulnerabilities, such as showing targeted advertising that exploits personal problems, financial challenges, or negative mental states. That sounds a lot like all of the weed bundles Activision are currently pushing, which, by the way, that shit's not even legal in a lot of the states where they're selling the games. Hey man, I think it should be legalized everywhere, but I don't make the fucking rules here, all right? Difficulties with managing digital subscriptions. For example, when companies make it excessively hard to unsubscribe. Is that a thing with Xbox Game Pass? It could be. Problematic commercial practices of social media influencers. People getting paid off by Activision to promote something. I don't know if that's going to be a thing in the future. Some of these practices may already go against existing EU consumer law and other EU law, for example, the Digital Services Act and the Audiovisual Media Services Directive. Now, this is only an EU thing right now. However, if this ends up spreading to something as large as the United States or other foreign countries, I say foreign as a United States person, but if this catches on, gaming is actually going to be cleansed somewhat. Activision Blizzard and other AAA companies have already been under fire, have been fined for several infractions. A lot of the loot box stuff has disappeared. It's still there in COD Mobile. I covered COD Mobile, and yeah, I like COD Mobile gameplay-wise, but it's still a mobile game. It's still selling you loot boxes. It's still akin to gambling. And stuff needs to come out that protects kids especially. If I was a kid nowadays, gaming would absolutely fuck me. Like, it would. I would probably be pocketing my lunch money and spending it on loot boxes and whatnot and buying stupid skins, yada yada. Gaming needs to change. When I say we peaked like 20 years ago, it's because greed wasn't the de facto thing yet. Everyone could see how much money could be made from gaming when it was that good. Like, gaming kept making more profits because things kept improving. And then come these weird psychological tricks, gambling, microtransactions, season passes, battle passes, limited time bundles and stuff like that. I don't mind the occasional microtransactions. I don't mind the occasional skin purchase in a game to keep it going. I really don't. I don't think those things in a vacuum are bad. It's all about putting that stuff before the quality of the games. It's all about not manipulating people into buying the stuff. I would argue that everything that's purchasable in a game should be earned through playtime, or could be earned through playtime as well. I don't think that's like a crazy thing to say. But here's the thing, man. You see all this money, right? You see all this money, and that's why these greedy, like, manipulative assholes are in the gaming industry nowadays. But on the flip side, once things get too greedy, things like to crash. It's a tale as old as time. Greed, human greed, crashes everything. I mean, you've seen Citizen Kane, Scarface, etc. Those are pretty true to life. They're not real stories, of course, but they're pretty true to life examples of what happens when you are too greedy. On the flip side, though, all this greed and malpractice, lawyers are going to eat this up if they can make money from suing these companies for millions, if not billions of dollars, for sending some people to jail through some malpractice. A lot of the stuff I have covered on this channel, guys, like the whole game not closing, I'm did that video a couple months ago, but yeah, the game will not close and it'll leave like stuff running in the background on your PC even, which can muddy player count numbers. That was a verified thing. I tested myself on my personal computer. You could close Call of Duty, and at the time, the Steam version just would not close out all the way, and it would say it was running. This is illegal. You cannot tout this information as a statistic to shareholders and say, hey, look, our player time was up when this flaw exists. That's highly, highly illegal. You also cannot deny a consumer a refund through Steam by artificially inflating the time played and going against Steam's refund clause. I guess they could right now, but that is an easy case for a lawyer to take to court and win to protect consumers, especially children and whatnot. If you exploit children, if you exploit stupid people, if you do manipulative things and don't disclose this information, like putting in AI and selling people AI or whatnot, again, Steam made Call of Duty disclose this information, it's illegal. Like, these people are going to get caught for their greed and their malpractices, and it's only a matter of time. When the first Activision Blizzard like exec gets jail time, I will make a video literally dancing with a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken and put it on the channel for you guys. And look, man, I don't dance. I'm like Ryan Gosling in Drive, but a lot less cool. Extremely less cool, actually. But I don't dance. Could you see him dancing? No, you can't. I don't dance, but I will make a video dancing as soon as someone gets jailed for this crap they're pulling, man. It's gone too far. Greed has overtaken the industry. And if the Oblivion re-release isn't proof that people just want to play a good game. I mean, the best AAA title I've played in the last, like 5 years, without a doubt, Elden Ring. Elden Ring does not have this predatory MTX stuff. It just simply does not. Their DLCs are akin to full release games. They're so high quality. You know, those types of games still exist, but they are becoming more and more scarce. Either way, though, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's all I have to say, and I hope this Protection Act keeps going, keeps evolving, and expands to other countries, expands to the United States especially. We need all the protection we can get here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Rate, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I want to nail Phil Spencer to the fucking cross.